Hey everybody, I want to talk politics with you, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're a pastor or a ministry leader, I don't have to tell you that the year 2020 has probably been the hardest time to lead effectively in a church situation in America, perhaps since the Civil War. First, 2020 started off with this lovely pandemic known as COVID-19. I mean, who would have thought that we would have had a toilet paper shortage? Do you remember that? Standing in line at Walmart at 3 a.m.? I know I did. And then of course now we still have to wear these things, which I know everybody loves that, right? In any case, then on top of that came the tragic murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis, which when that happened exposed a lot of stuff that had been brewing under the surface regarding the racial fissures that are there. And then of course the protests that happened across the country, which sadly many descended into riots that is still producing all kinds of tension today. So all this is like marinating, right? And then to add more to the fire, we've got the whole debate about should we be meeting in churches and violating state laws, and everybody in the congregation giving you their own opinion, and the pressure of trying to figure out should we open church or do everything online or whatever. And then just when you think you've had enough, here comes the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, the 2020 election. Yeah. So that's why we got to talk politics, because our next Wednesday webinar, September 2nd, the first Wednesday of the month, we said that's what we would do. I'm going to be sitting down with Larry Osborne on Zoom. He and I, and hopefully all of you, are going to come together and we are going to talk about a strategy to be able to get through this election season with the most amount of unity, focusing our congregations on Jesus and trying to navigate all the minefields of this election and what it's already produced and is producing. You see the link there in the email. You can register right now and get it on your calendar. 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Mountain, Wednesday, September 2nd. The second thing is because we keep wanting to give you as much relevant content as possible to stay connected with you. That's why we started the EFCA West podcast. The most recent one that we did was with Greg Strand talking about credentialing, not the most wonderfully exciting, exhilarating topic, but you know what? It actually is pretty cool. And the importance and the way that you can be strengthened by the denomination, the organization working in conjunction with the local church to affirm leadership and how that's overall a win for everybody. And so it's a great conversation. Please subscribe on iTunes. We're going to be pushing these podcasts out about every other week. So we have another one coming out later on. It'll be next week is when we have another one that we'll be letting you know about. And it's just good stuff. There's amazing people out there. And let's not forget, and many of you know this, that there's these terrible wildfires raging in California. And that's why I'd like to ask each of us to remember in prayer Pastor PJ Davis and Felton Bible Church, as they are right in the middle of a raging fire. And they've dealt with evacuations and all kinds of things. Pray for them as they are experiencing this tragedy and trying to, help the community however they can. I think the church is still okay, but it's a very dangerous situation there. And it makes me think of this. With all the stuff going on in 2020, and it's been a challenging year, but we are going to prevail, and we're going to get through this together. And I love the fact that we are the Evangelical Free Church of America. And you know why? Because the word evangelical doesn't mean what the media thinks it means, and it doesn't mean what a lot of our own congregations think it means. It means messenger of good news. That's what we are. The good news of Jesus Christ. And we are here and have been called to point people to that over politics and over everything else. And the second thing is we are free, which means each of us has a responsibility to be able to get the message of the gospel out to as many people as we possibly can under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, not some organization telling us what to do, but in the freedom of walking with the Spirit of God to be creative and innovative and bold and seizing opportunity. That's what we get to do. Hey, there's no better job, there's no better calling, and I know the people I'm talking to right now, that you are watching this, that you are doing some of the most important work on the planet. Don't forget it. Hey, I can't wait to see you next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Mountain, to talk with Larry Osborne from North Coast. We're going to get political because you know what? I mean, look at the choices that we have, right? 330 million people, whatever, in the United States of America, and it came down to these two guys, right? I mean, it amazes me, but it'll be fun. We're going to get through it. All right. God bless.